Your emotions can be your biggest enemy or your greatest ally in trading. The key is to learn to control them, manage them, and use them to your advantage. Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com here with the daily market recap. Please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, and without any further ado, let's see the charts. Very tight price range on the SPY, and as we will see all across the board, very tight price range. The market is on hold to start this earnings season. Anticipation, tomorrow Microsoft starts this earnings season, the boiling point of this earnings season. For now, SPY is holding above the 410 but below this red trend line. We need to wait and see and prepare for both sides. Short below the 410 towards the 405 and maybe all the way, closing this gap at the 396 area. Long above, breaking above this red trend line. I would wait also to break above the 416 area, because look left, 416 was a very tough resistance over here during February. So I would wait for a break above 416, and then to the upside we have Fibonacci levels, or to the downside we have Fibonacci levels. Follow price, use levels to manage risk. QQQ, same thing. 1 month, almost 1 month of sideways move, dojis, inside candles, indecision in the market, which means the market cannot decide. We surely cannot decide, and we might get a decision after Microsoft earnings tomorrow. Short towards the 308 gap, below the 313, long continuation above the 321. As we can see, very tight price range. 313 to the downside, 318 and 321 to the upside. IWM, not surprising, same price action, dojis, inside candles, basically since beginning of March, almost 2 months of sideways move. Let's see where IWM is taking us. We do have here this trend line, which is not holding, so we don't really need it. We have Fibonacci to the upside, 178, 180 together with this red trend line. Below the 174, we are going to retest 172 and 170 to the downside. Dow Jones, 335, 336 to the downside, very important level of support. And as we can see, trend lines are the true support resistance for price action. Since middle of April, each and every time this trend line is acting as a tough resistance, because this trend line goes all the way back to December of 2022, and each and every time price tried, got rejected. VIX bouncing between the 16 to the downside, 18 to the upside. For now, VIX is in a downtrend. Let's see if VIX can touch and bounce off this white trend line. If you see bounce on the VIX of this white trend line, it means VIX is going back to retest this 16 and maybe all the way up to the 18. Bitcoin, another perfect example of why trend lines are the true support resistance for price action. And as you can see, now Bitcoin is holding this red trend line as support. This red trend line goes all the way back to September of 2022, and it acted as resistance, then became support, now acting once again as support. Breaking to the downside, we have trend lines as a roadmap to the future. All we need to do is understand the in-depth candlestick analysis and the relationship between candles and trend lines. Trend lines are the roadmap for future price action. No other indicator can give you a roadmap to the future. And as traders, this is what we want to know, where price is heading next? Below this red trend line, most probably the orange one is next. Ethereum. Let's make the Fibonacci like this because it looks like it's downside for now on Ethereum. 1880 needs to hold, otherwise we have all the levels to the downside. If 1700 will fail to hold, in my opinion 1460 is next. We can take Fibonacci also to here. Swing low, swing high, 1800 is holding. Next is the 17, below it 16 and 15. Natural gas. If you're a pattern seeker, pattern trader, we can clearly see some kind of a cup and handle. We are waiting for a break up above the 250, and then we have all the Fibonacci levels to the upside. But Fibonacci traders, we don't follow, we don't rely on patterns because patterns are not reliable. All we do is follow price and use levels to manage our risk. SMH, as we said, broke below the 250 and now looks like this red trend line is going to get a visit from price very soon. Trend lines and Fibonacci levels. That's it. As you can see, this red trend line goes all the way back to October of 2022, holding the higher lows. For now, SMH is in an uptrend until proven otherwise. All depends on the time frame that you are trading. If you are not long yet on SMH, I would wait for some kind of a bounce because for now, SMH is in retracement pullback. Looks like retesting this red trend line. If so, I would wait and see if we can get some kind of bounce off this trend line. We also have another trend line over here. As you can see, all this area is a very important area of support for the SMH. Microsoft earnings coming up tomorrow after earnings. 281 holding, barely. This gap needs to get filled. Let's see how market will react to Microsoft earnings. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Microsoft going retesting this red trend line and once and for all breaking up and above it, or is Microsoft going all the way towards this yellow trend line and maybe breaking to the downside towards 245? Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? How market will react? It all comes down to how market reacts to the earnings report. It doesn't matter if the earnings report is good or bad. Our opinion doesn't matter. All that matters is the market's opinion. So follow price, price is market, market is the price. AAPL went down, retraced to this white trend line, and if you follow me on Twitter and you saw previous videos in the past few weeks or so, you know those trend lines, and you know that trend lines are the true support resistance for price action. And here we are, doji of a trend line. Now all we have to do is wait and see how AAPL and how the rest of the market will react during this week for the coming earnings. Amazon earnings coming up Thursday. Trend lines, once again, from trend line to trend line. Now 104 needs to hold, otherwise, you guessed it, this red trend line will be next support. Meta, another day, another doji. Once again, 211 is holding. We can clear the chart a little bit, clean the chart. 210, if 210 will fail to hold, this gap will get filled. Meta, Wednesday, after the bell, earnings coming out. So pay attention for this earnings season. Pay attention for this week, because this is the most crucial week of them all for this earnings season. Google, Tuesday, tomorrow, after the bell, Google earnings coming out. Let's see if this trend line can hold. Otherwise, all the way, in my opinion at least, and you know that everything you see in this video and on my channel in general is for educational purposes only. So if market will react not as good as we expect it to react, if we are bulls, this trend line will get broke to the downside towards to the 100 and maybe even all the way back to 94.80. These are the levels. Good reaction from the market. We are going towards this white trend line. Tesla, another day. Bulls trying to avoid this gap, trying to get back above the 165 area, but they are failing. And this gap, in my opinion, will get filled, because we know that more than 80% of all gaps will get filled. And if bulls of Tesla wants to gain back their power, they need to let bears fill this gap, and then we are going to look for a bounce back up towards this gap over here. More than 80% of all gaps will get filled throughout time. So pay attention. If you see a gap, you know it will get filled. Shopify holding the 47, 48 area as support. And here we have a slight gap at the 50. And all this area is acting as resistance. So if you are not long yet on Shopify, I would wait. Maybe a break below this 47 area towards this blue trend line. And then we look for some kind of a bounce. Same as it did here. Same as it did here. Same as it did over here. Or a day or two close above this area, closing this gap, and continuation towards the blue trend line to the upside, because this is all we have to do. Follow price, look at the candles, understand in-depth candlestick analysis, use levels, trend lines to manage our risk. Risk management is the only thing as traders we have full control of. So learn strategies for risk management. It's more important than the strategy of technical analysis. It comes together, but risk management is really the only thing that we have full control of. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends. Don't forget to check the links in the description below for more educational resources. Until the next video, do good things.